cape here. Get this in. For God's sake. Okay, turn on some lights. Move this over here. Okay, I've got some pens back. Pens and pencils back that were returned from a sale that never happened. And I will put them. Oh, this is not the one. This is, okay, this says carbon ink. I put carbon ink in these 4 pens to see if I could use them today with urban sketching. And I just wanted to see if they were in fact functioning. I did get some pens back from someone who bought, well, he didn't buy pens, he tried them out. And he turns out he did not want any of them, which is perfectly fine. My trying to figure out why may require some complex soul searching, complex interrogation of the person. Not that I need to know exactly why, but I'm sort of curious. I have a thought, and the thought may be why, or maybe not why. I don't know. But anyway, so these are now back. What kind of nib did this have? I forgot. Now my thought is the person who I sent these to has modern pens, and I just thought that maybe the modern pens were smoother and maybe a little broader, and that's what he ended up liking, rather than the more sharp, perhaps, used pens. But again, I do not know. So these are the 3 pens. Let me just turn this paper over. It's already written on that side too. So let me try this paper. Uh-oh, look, it just fell. Okay, so these 4 pens have carbonite ink in them. And this seems to work. Okay, so I'll bring that along with me. This one seems to me I needed to, I sort of dip it in water just to get the ink moving. But as you can see, it's not moving very well. And come on, cap goes over the nib, not next to it. The reason I'm trying out these nibs, these pens, is I thought this might be more convenient to use with carbonite ink than the more safety pen that, or the Boston safety pen I got from Nathan. But I realize I really don't use waterproof ink. I don't need to in the work that I do. The only one that seems to not have any difficulty in starting is this Waterman. So it might be just the luck of the draw, or the big glob of ink on the spoon feed, or maybe the thing is more airtight. I have no idea. It is interesting though, this ink seems to have some sort of crud in it. Is that the carbon? Is there little bits of crud in this stuff? Anyway, I may bring this with me or I may not. I don't honestly know. I really do like the dissolving the ink that I put down with the regular Waterman ink. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll bring them along anyway. Maybe. I don't know. I've got too many. I don't want to bring too many tools with me because then all I do is compare this nib and I take forever to decide what I want to actually draw with. I hate when I do that. I'd rather just draw. So we're going to Chinatown today. The Chinatown gate. It's going to be 89 degrees. So that'll be interesting. That will be interesting. To see what happens with that. These are these Arteza pens that are all sort of dried up, so I have no qualms about dipping them in water and smushing them around because they're essentially useless as they're in their original intent, original purpose. So you can play around with them. So the next show that goes up after this Urban Sketchers show comes down in the gallery is one about the great outdoors. Now, does this fit that? Does this barrel fit this pen? I doubt it. Does it? Will it? Are they the same? Look at that. Does this fit on here? Yes. Look at that. Now, this one kind of matches. It's good. Kind of matches. Evidently they use the same barrel. This is really a fine Sheaffer pen that I was using because it had a mismatched barrel, but now it has a matched barrel. The color matches, so now it doesn't offend me when I'm using it. This one can offend me if I use it. This is one of those weird inlaid nibs that looks like a dolphin, but I like it. Okay, so I'm set to go, kind of, sort of. So I have to figure out what pens to bring. I I went to the Mount Auburn Cemetery yesterday specifically to do an entire sketchbook full of drawings. And I was just going to draw until I was done with that sketchbook. And I had a thought of how I was going to draw them. And I filled up all sorts of pens with ink, filled up my water pens with water brush pens. And I got there and left the sketchbook here. And that annoyed me. So I ended up drawing for 3 hours using other materials. But then the mosquitoes came out and I became less interested in staying outside. I went inside and I did lots of drawings of the interior of the chapel, which a friend of mine and his workmates were restoring the replacing the re-leaded windows. And I came up with some rather nice drawings. I thought they sort of have this quality of dark John Singer Sargent interiors that he did in Venice and places like that. You know, this ink is really cruddy. I can see why it would clog a fountain pen. I can see why it would do that. So anyway, today I will go out and I will work on drawing the Chinatown Gate. Bye.